After Hours.
On this episode of the History of the Core's After Hours podcast, we discuss the Minneapolis, Minnesota metalcore band known as Martyr A.D. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at IsSurvivedByPro for news and latest episode postings. And make sure to subscribe to the show. Leave us a 5-star review and write us a comment on YouTube or whatever podcast service you're using. And if you'd like to see us do some live streams, leave us a comment or tweet us the keyword stream. Now, without further ado, let's start the show.
The devil is in Atlanta. Army surrounded.
Welcome back to the History of the Core's
After Hours
podcast, where each and every episode I, Curtis, sit down with my good friend and avid listener to the History of the Core's podcast, Eric. I'm not going to lie, man. I don't know why I don't want to say After Hours in this, in the intro here, because, like we were just talking about, for some reason, I wanted to go the History of the Core's podcast. No, this is the After Hours. I don't know why I wanted to do that, because we haven't recorded a regular History of the Course podcast in probably like a month, actually over a month. So it's not like I've been doing like 20 episodes a day or something. So I don't know. That's what's going on in my life. What's going on in your life, Eric?
Oh, it's a great life. Wonderful, wonderful.
It's a great life. It's a great life. Eric?
Life's like a bowl of cherries.
Is it true what they say? Is it true that you have a band in your spotlight today? Dadgum, I'm really doing good with rhymes.
Focus.
Laser focus. What do you got in your spotlight today, Eric?
I got one called Mugshot.
Like this?
Mugshot. Side profile. Thank you. Click. 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 Okay.
Oh, man.
And they are from San Jose, California. And they're metalcore, breakdown core. You can get into that Cali core kind of category as well.
Josie core.
Oh yeah.
San Jose.
And they might fight you for saying that, but I don't know.
Let them come.
They dropped that first album in 2016. Several EPs since then. They're on Pure Noise Records with, I got a list here for you. Ready? That's actually a pretty big label. I didn't really realize. You got Amity Affliction, which is who I saw them with. You got Knocked Loose, Hawthorne Heights. That's a microcosm right there. You got Census Fail. But most importantly, we have Galactic Empire. I did not realize they were on here.
Who?
You don't know who Galactic Empire is? They came to Tulsa here about 6 or 8 months ago.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I was going to say, why does that sound familiar? I remember you talking about them. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That being said, I didn't go see them because there was nobody else on the ticket. I couldn't see it standing there for a couple hours, not being able to sing along because there's no lyrics. But anyway,
right.
But I digress.
Wait, for Galactic Empire, there's no lyrics? Are they just an instrumental band? Oh, okay.
They are instrumental.
Didn't know
it's
that.
Basically mostly based off of Star Wars. That's why the Galactic Empire.
Right,
That's why the outfits, I'm sure you've seen already.
Yeah. So this one guy's wearing like a Indiana Jones hat. Weird. Anyway. Yeah, that does not belong. Anyway, mugshot. Tell me about your mugshot.
So, don't smile in your mugshot, guys. Apparently that's bad juju. But anyway. So they're very energetic live. Very energetic live. They had at least one pit going at one time, and I can't remember. They might have had like 2 separate pits. It was wild. That's impressive to me because they were the openers. Getting the crowd involved as an opener, that's
An early
kind of a
start.
big deal to me. Oh yeah, yeah. I guess that crowd was there to party or whatever, but they had good energy and that helped. But they definitely, like I said, they played with Amity Affliction and Dying Wish was there as well, back to back
Nice.
with them, and then Amity. So I mean, we were there to party.
We're pretty sweaty
was a
at the
good
end of it,
time.
weren't you? So hot in
That's the
there.
one where the AC broke,
Oh,
and then as I was walking out, I looked back behind me to see how many people were back in the back, and the lights had all come on and everything. And I was like, dude, it looks like a cloud in here. He said, my buddy that I went to the concert with, he said, look down. It's physically raining. And I was like, it's not like droplets dropping, but the ground was wet.
wet.
I was like, I thought somebody spilled their beer. Like, what's going on? And it was physically raining from all the humidity in this room.
Wow, man.
It was pretty nasty.
Ugh.
So,
Ew.
not to mention, I mean, by the time Dying Wish
People
got up there, we had
juice.
at least, it was people juice. We had at least 2 pits going on at that point. And then when Amity got up there, there was 3 pits going on, and they all melded into one gigantic long pit at one point in time. Not to mention all the crowd surfers. It was a good show, actually. I wasn't expecting Amity to put on a show like that. They kind of impressed me because they're really not my thing. But
okay.
Anyway, I went. Currents was there. I kind of went for Currents.
He went for Currents, and he left with 3 other bands. Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice, man. Very nice.
Final thought on them is breakdown core is not really my thing, but as a whole, if you do like breakdown core, give these guys a shot. They're not awful. They seem to be shooting up popularity. I didn't realize they have almost 150,000 monthly listeners now. They did not have that many when I put them on my list to do this. So
yeah,
they are definitely shooting up through the ranks.
Nice.
I know breakdown core, that's kind of one of those Cali core, that kind of stuff has a very devout following.
Right. Yeah.
And they're very tight knit. So, doesn't really surprise me that they have that many listeners, but it did a little bit because I know it didn't have that many when I looked them up the first time.
Right. Yeah. Maybe kind of a cult following type almost.
Breakdown core, and there's a couple other cores that kind of do have a little bit of cult following almost.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Hey.
Nice.
Really, there's a couple of like your Scandinavian type metals. They kind of have that going on here too. Your Amon Amarths and your stuff like that.
Yeah, I would agree. Maybe even a band like this that we're about to talk about, Eric.
They could have a following.
Could be. Before we get to that, check out Mugshot if you're into that. Give them a listen. Bump up those numbers.
I mean, it's worth a shot, right?
Yeah, worth a shot. It's always worth a shot, man. All right,
if you need
today.
Some workout music.
No, it's true. True. If you need something to rage, get the hormones flowing, is the band for you. Today we are talking about the band from Minnesota known as Martyr A.D. Before we start talking a little more Martyr A.D., let's take a look here. For you people on YouTube, let's take a look at my background here. Okay. This is a live shot of Martyr A.D. No, I did not take this picture. It's not mine. But I did find some interesting things going on here. Now, obviously, you have the lead vocalist getting in people's faces. You have other people getting back into his face. Cool. Great. Let's look this way, shall we? Let's specifically look at this guy. Look like fat Josh Scoggin, maybe? Kind of? Yeah. This guy looks like he is drunk as all get out. He's like, where am I at? What's happening? And this guy looks like he's saying, I thought Craig Owens was playing tonight. Where's Craig Owens at? Because I don't like this. I don't like this music. It's too much. Too much music. I don't like it. Can you turn it down just a little? Just a little bit. Just thank you. Just a little more. Thank you. Yeah. Anyway, I just thought that was funny. It's like there's a lot happening in this photo here, and I like it. Yeah. Alrighty. Let's talk about Martyr A.D., Eric, from your perspective. How were you introduced to the band known as Martyr A.D.? There it is.
Yonder. Ho. Oh,
Yonder.
I'm pretty sure, in fact, it was this thing called the History of the Course podcast.
3 for 3. Yes. Where can one find this podcast at, Eric?
Anywhere where you consume your podcasts, including, but not limited to, Spotify and YouTube.
Ooh, what about Apple?
Give it a shot. I bet it's there.
Google Play?
Oh, man. I think he's got it up there too.
Boxcast?
Worth a shot.
What
Give
about
it a Google.
What about Fanny Fan?
I don't know what's on that website, but sure.
I don't even think that's real. Nice. Cool. 3 in a row, I think. Maybe more. I don't know. How would you
At least
describe
three so far?
exactly? How would you describe Martyr A.D to a brand new listener, Eric?
Basically, just metalcore of that era. I mean, what are we talking about? Early 2000s, late 90s? Yeah. So yeah, it's metalcore of that era.
Okay.
I mean,
It's Minnesota core, bro. I don't know.
Minnesota.
Oh man. Well, we're not going to beat around the bush on this one, Eric. We're just gonna cut right to the chase. Okay, we're gonna get deep in there real quick. We get 2 full-length albums from this band with 2 different vocalists. On the original episode of the History of the Chorus podcast, Josh and I both voiced our opinion of the music being great on the first album. The vocals, not so much. Okay. But music, 2 thumbs up. Whereas the second album really felt like the opposite. Felt like the music kind of like toned down a little bit, but the vocals got lifted up. I don't know. Now, I will admit, too, time has changed my feelings as I've really kind of grown to enjoy both albums overall. But originally, when we first listened to this, because that was my first time listening to it when we did the original episode, we both kind of had that feeling. But overall, what are your thoughts on the only 2 albums from Martyr A.D. and how do the 2 vocalists stack up to one another?
I think they're both actually pretty decent.
Okay.
They got their highs and lows and goods and bads. I will say if you are going to have vocals, it's make or break for me. So the vocalist on Human Condition, not bad. The sound is stuck in the time for sure on that one, though.
Mhm.
He does have some range. He's got some mids and lows, even the occasional highs here and there. Higher end gets to feel a little bit more hollow, but I mean, that's kind of the nature of them. If you're not 100% trained or very, very naturally gifted,
Right.
highs just can do that. So,
Which
his
again,
mids do
at that
remind me a bit
time
of.
period, it's everybody's just trying
There
to
was
do
no
it
training,
as gnarly as
right?
it
You're
could.
just
Yeah, there is
the
no
gnarly
training. What's
sounds,
training? What is this word,
right?
training?
Right. This guy's mids remind me a bit of like Mastodon, like a couple of their
Okay.
early
Yeah.
albums.
Yeah.
Music's pretty good on it as a whole. And then on the album On Earth as It Is in Hell, that vocalist a little bit more full sounding as a whole. Has those hardcore hollers, which, I kind of enjoy occasionally. If done well, that's another one of those. You got to do it right. Lows are pretty decent. Music feels a bit more simple, more breakdowns, less complex structures is kind of what I was feeling.
Does it kind of feel sludgy to you on that second album?
That might be it. Yeah.
Okay. Because that's why I kind of
maybe not 100% breakdown, but kind of sludge.
Yeah, but it's kind of got, like you're saying, it's kind of like that breakdown stuff, but yeah, not really breakdown. It's just kind of that timing of like, dun, 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 yeah, or whatever. But yeah, the first word that came to my mind was kind of like, kind of sludgy. I feel like I'm stepping in some mud. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a good way to describe that.
Yeah.
Like I said, the structures of the music itself was just a little bit less complex than
Mhm.
what I was feeling in the first one. I'm a very low level musician, so don't take my word for that. For gold, that's just what I was feeling in the music.
Well, it does feel like they definitely slowed down, like you're saying on the second
Right.
one. Whereas the first one, it's like, man, that first song after that little intro track, that first song comes in and just like punches you with that riff there, dun 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 dun. I was like, oh gosh, so good, man, and it does not stop, man. But on the second album, yeah, there's times where it's like it really kind of they go for that kind of slow, kind of crawl type, sludgy
Chugging and
kind of
lugging.
chug lug. Yeah. So still good overall, but it's kind of interesting how they kind of went that way, like flippity flop. But I don't know. All right, I got one trivia question for you here, Eric, on this episode. After the release of their debut album, the band would lose their drummer, Justin Kane. In his absence, the band would release a demo featuring drummer Jared Logan of what band that we recently covered over this past summer? Ooh.
Is it I'm gonna say it wrong, but it's the one with the seven angels and seven plagues, or seven
You
plagues, seven
Yep,
angels.
yep, you got it. You had the first time, man. You had the first time.
Okay,
And
yeah.
if you
I
if you
always say it
need
wrong
it,
one way or the other.
yeah, if you needed a hint, I was gonna say if you needed a hint, which am I doing? Okay. This your our fat Josh Goggin over here could help you because he's got a seven angels, seven plagues shirt on too.
Oh.
I know that was my other thing too
He
that I
knows
noticed. I was
he
like,
knows
oh,
what he
he's
was
wearing a
about.
seven angels. Yeah, he knows. He knows what's up. He's like, oh, this is so good. Yeah, cool. Nice job, Eric. Nice job. 100%.
Yes.
Now, we've talked previously about the late 90s to early 2000s trend in the genre of album artworks that come off as disgusting, disturbing, or for pure shock value. Whatever. Josh has a question for you, Eric. What am I looking at? And he asked that when he's talking about their first album cover, The Human Condition in 12 Fractions. Help him out, Eric. And at the same time, which of the two album artworks are your favorite?
So I got looking at both of these. I Googled a bunch of pictures of them. So I don't know if what we have on Spotify is like a reissue version, or if what I saw a different one was a reissued version. But there's a little bit different one where the angle of the picture is flip flopped, and there's a few little things about it that are different. This
Okay.
one looks kind of like the side profile of a pig that doesn't have an eye,
Ooh.
and it's got a red blurry filter going on with it. But the other one, or whichever other one I seen, it's definitely 100% a pig. Its eye is 100% open, staring you lifelessly, you know, looking into your soul with that lifeless eye. It's quite disturbing.
Are you talking
Can't remember if that
about
was on their
the?
band camp.
Yeah, there's one. So the one that's on Spotify is like
I looked at
it's the
several different
full.
ones.
Yeah, so it's the full picture of like a pig face. There's other one
Right.
that's coming from discogs.com. It's like it's that same picture, but it's like duplicated four times, and it's like in four small squares on the screen with
No,
their name in the middle. That's not one that you saw though.
no. This one
Hmm.
is, it's angled the other direction.
Oh, I see.
So
I
instead
see
of
it
the
now. I
pig
see it.
snout facing down, it's
Yes.
facing up.
Okay. Yeah. Up and to the right. Yeah, I
Yeah, you
see
see
it
that
now.
that
Okay.
lifeless eye?
Yes. Ooh.
Yeah, that's
Ew.
worse.
That's creepy.
That's what makes me think this is probably a reissue or something,
Hmm. Yeah,
for the
maybe
better.
so.
Make it
Interesting.
look a little more ambiguous.
What do you think
Yeah, I
about
don't
that
know.
second album?
Anyway, the I was trying to figure it out. So it's kind of X-ray-ish, but then
Yeah.
he's got roots hanging out his back and like
Hmm.
a bird wing sitting in the middle of all of it.
Right.
Uh, I don't know. I kind of like that one better because it's just more, I guess, standard metalcore.
Doesn't feel disturbing. I mean, it's
It's just a
it's
human
strange, but it's not
skeleton. I
a
mean,
it's not a pig stared at me in a red filter. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit.
Especially
I
the
don't
one
like it.
with the very dead eye. I didn't like that at all.
Yes. Yeah, nah. Let's talk about some things you do like, though, Eric. Let's talk about your favorites.
Woohoo!
Albums, songs, lyrics, riffs, so on and so forth. You know how we do it here on the After Hours podcast. Eric, go ahead and take it away. Nope. He's jamming
Anyway,
out. He's jamming out.
I am jamming out.
Jamming a jam.
This one's going to be number 3, so we'll come back to that in a minute.
Okay.
But anyway,
Okay.
album wise, I went with On Earth as It Is in Hell, just for the fact I like the vocals better.
Okay.
I know it's a little slower, a little more sludgy. That first album has that I forget what they call it. It's a type of chord that's off just by a half a step. So it doesn't quite sound right. It sounds kind of creepy and weird. They do that and they hit it and they bend. And it's got a lot of that going on, which I really enjoy. A lot of bands of the era did that. I mean, it's one of those things, but I enjoy it. Always did.
Okay.
First one I remember looking up one of the guitar tabs for it was, I think, As I Lay Dying, one of their early albums.
Okay.
And I was like, dude, that's kind of cool. What's that sound I'm hearing? So I found it and how to do it. And they do that quite a bit throughout that first album,
And
especially.
he spent a whole night pissing his parents off by just going just over.
Going,
It's like, play something else, man. Oh my god.
They said, here's a pair of headphones. Please
Yeah,
use them.
just please put this on, man. Oh my.
So anyway, it's the vocals for me. I like the vocals on the second album a little bit better.
Yeah.
That's 100% it.
Okay.
So lyrically, are
Yeah,
you ready for some lyrics?
I'm so ready.
So we have slave to monotony. Another breath breeds futility. This is not a life, a trace of reality. Disease of existing life holds only shame for me, slipping from importance as I turn away, cold hands breaking apart. This will not come to pass. We are all so alone. I was trying to pick one piece of that, and I was like, it's just one phrase that follows into the next. That is from 75-25, 75-25, 75-25. Maybe call it 50. I don't know.
I'm so alone. I'm so alone, man.
I'm going to call it 50 because I'm so alone. I'm alone in this world, calling it 50.
Okay. Nice. What else you got?
We got favorite songs. Ready for number 3?
Here we go. Number 3
is 50 or 75-25, as most people seem to call it.
50. Nice.
And that was off of The Human Condition.
Pig face. Number 2.
Late Night Faith Healer.
Now, if
Pretty
you could
good
just
stuff,
send me
honestly. That's a
about
good song.
$12, put your hand on this TV screen right now at midnight, and you will be healed. Nice. Yeah.
But you got to do it at the right timing.
No. Sorry, time's over. Too late. Call the next 30 minutes.
Before we get to the first song, what do you think about the little EP that they did in 2018? I don't know that that y'all talked about it much on the original podcast.
Well, so let me pull it up here real quick.
I know one song for sure is a re-recording. I think are they both?
They're both dim. Yeah. Well, I don't know. So Spotify labels them as demos. Now, both of them are off of on Earth as It Is in Hell.
Right.
But I don't know if they're supposed to be like demos of like with because their original vocalist is back with them when they do make appearances. But the original vocalist is back with them now, and I don't know if this is supposed to be like with him on vocals, maybe. I didn't listen to it originally because I just saw they were the same thing. I thought I'd cash grab, when
Right.
they released it, but trying to. Yeah, that's okay. So it must be with their original vocalist. That's what it sounds like. So I'm guessing that to cash grab their way through 2018, they decided, hey, let's throw a demo, or in Josh's terms, a sampler of two songs that we're gonna re-record as demos, and we're gonna have our old vocalist, who's now back with us, do the vocals on that. What do you think?
I wasn't a fan.
Okay,
I just, leave them alone.
I agree,
You're
man.
done with that one already.
Yeah, I agree. Well,
You're not a bunch
again,
of high schoolers re-recording the same thing, trying to make it better. You're a bunch of grown people. Move on. Do something else.
you're just helping my fact here, Eric. It's a cash grab. Yeah. So
Kind of felt
you've
that
been
way.
cash grab labeled. Yeah. Alrighty.
Whoopsh.
Did we get
Number one.
song number one yet?
You ready? We did
Oh,
not.
we're doing it now. Okay. Number one.
Ready? And I went with American Hollow, and that question was because that is the name of the little EP thing. And I want to make
Gotcha.
sure we know this one is off of the main album, not that EP thing.
Not the
That can go
EP.
away.
The main album. Yeah.
Yes. That. They can keep their 2018 stuff.
Okay. Cool. Nice. Well, final thoughts on the band known as Martyr A.D.
Not awful. They're a little of the era, of course, but
Yeah.
if you do like old school metalcore and you haven't heard them before, give them a shot. I mean, they're
Give 'em
not
a
terrible at
shot.
all.
I agree, man. Alrighty, let's get on out of here, Eric. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at @IsSurviveByPro for news and the latest episode postings, not just on this show, but our other shows as well. This is the third time I'm reading this. We have the History of the Cores podcast, where me and Josh take a band from the core genre and we check out each and every album and demo and song and single and member change, and so on and so forth. We also have the Red Right Hand podcast, which has covered all 6 seasons of the BBC/Netflix hit show, The Peaky Blinders. We also have the Throne of the Dragon podcast, which has covered season 1 and season 2 of HBO's House of the Dragon, and next summer we'll be covering season 1 of HBO's A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Also, while you're on Twitter, make sure to follow my co-host at Joshua Lynn Gary. Did I say on Twitter? He's on Twitter at Joshua Lynn Gary. Make sure to leave us a 5-star review, 5 stars, and write us a comment on whatever podcast service you're using. And if you want to listen to us and see our smiling faces, if you want to hear the words, if you want to see the words coming out of my mouth right now, you got to head on over to our YouTube page. Just search Is Survived by Productions. That'll have every episode from all of our shows. Subscribe to the channel. You better thumbs up the video. Alrighty. Till the next episode, where we're talking free between the Buried and Me days. A little band known as Prayer for Cleansing. We'll see ya.